criminality was over 50% of the subsidy. I have to first remove the criminality associated with the subsidy and replacing it with an alternative. We have to show what is being removed and where it's being applied. You don't know what the subsidy is today. You don't know what is being removed. So what we are saying is, oh, subsidy gone. Electricity subsidy gone. Soon they will remove subsidy on air. If they have a chance, they will charge us for air. But we are not saying we will not do that. But tell us where it's going. Now we're being told there will be increase in VAT, increase in tax. There will be, you see people speaking language like, oh, Nigerian tax to revenue to GDP is low. Who are you taxing? You have 130 million people who are living in poverty, who have no job. Are you going to tax them? Where are they going to pay? They have not eaten, so how will they pay you tax? Tax is a social of productivity. It's a bank account. You have to put in something before you withdraw. So we want to charge them, but let us put something. What Nigeria want to see today, and what I want to see, is let Nigerian politicians start sacrificing. People are ready to sacrifice. But you can't ask people to fast when you're feasting. So you cannot be in a party going around with new jets and yachts and everything at the expense of the public. That is not leadership. In Nigeria, 95% of the politicians are the same. So the 5% remaining is very negligible. I've had somebody confront me and said, okay, Peter, you wasted energy and time and you saved money. And when you were leaving government, you left huge amount of money. So tell me, which price did you get from doing that? Every other person took money and they are enjoying themselves today. You said you don't want to take the pension given to you as governor. So what difference does it make? You would have had a house in Abuja, a house in Oka. Government is maintaining you. That's why I always say, this is a criminal entity hijacked by criminals. The only way it can work is to dismantle it. When we talk about corruption, the reason why it is bad for a society, corruption kills entrepreneurship. Nobody thinks in a corrupt country. Why will I work hard to create a business and suffer to grow the business when I can make more money from being a politician?
The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria decided that he wanted to make the National Assembly members happy by providing them brand new vehicles that cost a whopping sum. That is the dream of so many Nigerians, but they just could never touch. There is not one member of the National Assembly that rejected this vehicle, not even members of Labour Party in the National Assembly. What does that tell you about the quality and caliber of human beings that are called Nigerians that are in the National Assembly?
I have been a state governor, and I know what you mentioned with National Assembly is not the buying of the vehicle, but the impact on the society is far worse. The National Secretary of National University Commission recently said that Nigerian universities are in urgent need of PhD holders. I ask myself, who wants to be a PhD holder? If you become a PhD holder, you are employed as a graduate assistant level 2 or so in university. Your salary is 150,000 naira. Let me be generous and give you 200,000. That means in 1 year, you earn 2.4 million. Let's say it's 2.5 million. 2.5. If you decide as a PhD holder with 2.5 million naira annual salary to buy the car they've given to somebody whose only qualification is secondary school, it will take you 64 years Why will anybody want to be a PhD holder? Corruption kills professionalism. Why am I going to work hard to MPhD, research to be a professor? Because what I told you now, for a professor, is double the salary, 400,000 if he's paid. Why will I struggle to be a professor? In fact, if you're a professor, your salary, like I said, is 400,000 monthly, 4.8, so call it 5 million annually. For 4 years, without spending your money, you earn 20 million as a professor. 1 month's salary of National Assembly member is 21 million. Why do you want to be a professor? So corruption kills enterprise, kills professionalism. It kills hard work.
Would you advise the president to do what he has done to the Supreme Court by increasing by 300% all university professors?
I'm going to, for me as president, we're going to dismantle this criminality. Everybody have to come at the same level, and we discuss the future of the country. I was governor of a state. I was impeached within 6 months. You know that, of being a governor. And what was the problem? My own office as governor, there was a budget to renovate my office because it was burnt. The budget to renovate it was 298 million. I spent 42,300,000. That was my number one offense. Number two offense was that in my lodge, where I lived as governor, the entire budget, it was also burned because they had a crisis before I came in. The budget to renovate the visa was 486 million. I spent 81 million in doing everything. That was my second offense. The third offense was that I was saving money. Everybody knew. You can go to Suka and verify. When I became governor, no permanent secretary in Anambra State had a car. No judge had a car. And I said, no. I went to Pijo. Still on record that I bought the highest number of Pijo ever bought by government. When I was governor, I went there and said, supply us 50 vehicles, 406. And in my first year, for 4 years, the vehicle I used as governor, it was 406. Permanent secretary, everybody was using the same car. 406 for the 4 years. In my first tenure, you can go, these are things that you can go and verify. And we shut down the office of First Lady. Because they had more money than some of my ministries. I said, hey, wait a minute. What is this? Nobody voted this woman. It's my wife. We love her. We live in the same house. But he didn't campaign. Nobody voted for her. He should have had her own convoy, even with ambulance and everything, creating additional confusion that was not supposed to exist. We shut it down.
And we're struggling with high fuel costs, high food costs, high inflation, and people are saying, we're hungry. Where do we put the blame?
Squarely on the man who is in charge.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Period. Nobody else. Who is the man they declared the winner?
Why did you say they declared him winner?
They was declared the winner. He is the one who is responsible. No other person. That's why I told you I was impeached. Because I was the man they elected. That's why I can abolish First Lady office, abolish everywhere, and determine that I'm going to change this place. There's too much waste. Why would we have Asoro Clinic being built for 22 billion naira when your national clinic, your number one hospital, have less than 2 billion? It takes from Asoro to national clinic can be more than 5 kilometers. So why the clinic? When Trump had problem, they didn't take him to White House clinic. They took him to the military hospital where every other person, when Boris Johnson had COVID, they took him to hospital. Me and you can go. It's hospital. Why are we always doing what is wrong?
Okay.
He's just hospital and he has ambulance all over the place. Even when he's moving, couldn't governors, they move with ambulance. With other problems. So if anything happened, the ambulance will take him to the national hospital. I was a governor with 36 30 members of my assembly from different parties. The entire assembly, not one from my party. I was a governor without one senator from my party in my state, without one National Assembly member. Everybody was, different parties, except me alone. And yet, the state became most peaceful, most secured in that 8 years. In fact, a president of Nigeria told one of the PDP governors, go and learn how Peter is with his House of Assembly member. And when that person asked my speaker, how is it that you are in a different party and Peter is in a different party and all of you are working peacefully with him? He said he brings everything on the table. Transparency.
Did he include SUVs?
We didn't have money.
You didn't buy SUV for anybody?
I said I was using 406. How can they be using something better than me? They couldn't have. We actually quarreling. When they said to me, my counterpart in other states, I said, we have no counterpart in other states. Because they could see me, I shut down Anambra State Governor's Lodge in Abuja. Everybody knew. Because Governor of Anambra doesn't live in Abuja, and we couldn't afford to be keeping it. They know that. I shut down the presidential lodge in Oka from building. I said, no, the president doesn't live in Oka.
So you recommend the same thing for all the governors in 36 states who have, a lot of them are actually living in Abuja and not in their state today?
Why would they? I even recommend that when you finish governing, you should live in that state. Not just, even after. I live in Onitsha. The only place that I have house today in Nigeria that is built by me, that is my own, is Onitsha. If you see any other one anywhere, confiscate it and take it. I live in Onitsha, in my house. Look at our debt, rising irresponsibly. There's nothing wrong in borrowing. Borrowing for any government globally is accepted. People make reference with every other country today. I've compared so many countries with the issue of borrowing. Even countries people cite, like Singapore. Singapore today owes over 100% of their GDP. But they have a clear law that all borrowed money must be for investment. Japan owes over 200% of their GDP in debt. But the money Japan borrowed, most of their debts, apart from being domestic, were used for the economy and the people of Japan. And today, the highest holder of US treasuries, up until maybe 2 years ago, I don't know what happened. China, every other person we reference, have huge debts. But you could see where those debts were invested in. Today, we are the number 3 highest debtor to World Bank. That happened within the past 1 year. We actually estimated that the way we are going will soon be number 1 highest debtor, without anything to show for it. In 2015, let me not go back for that. 2015, when this APC government started, our debts was a third of what it is today. We are now over $100 and something billion. We're now in a situation where we can't explain what happened, and we have tripled our debts. That means the money we borrowed were all either swallowed by snakes, pythons, tortoise, monkey, all sorts of things. That's why we are now in this new song of go, where people put the money, the elephants even follow that ate the money, because the nine goes to parties.
We must force free and fair elections on INEC and Tinubu in 2027. We must force it. If we don't force it, then forget it. No need for any elections. It's clear that Tinubu wants to continue beyond 2027 as president of Nigeria. He wants to. And he knows it, that in a free and fair election, he doesn't stand a chance. So the signs are there. He's not interested in a free and fair election. So if any candidate, Peter Obi, whether acting as an individual candidate or in a coalition, if he's to have a chance to be sworn in, if he's to prevent being rigged out again, then we must force free and fair elections on INEC. Electoral reforms alone will not do it. There are 4 solutions that we can use to force INEC to conduct free and fair elections. 4 solutions. I'll leave links to the 4 solutions in the description. These 4 solutions, if we implement them even 50%, then rigging in election in Nigeria will be a thing of the past, gone and forgotten. Not even a 5-in-1 Tinubu will be able to rig 2027. Yes, 5-in-1 Tinubu. And I'm talking about Tinubu being the presidential candidate of the APC, Tinubu being the INEC chairman himself, Tinubu being the head of thugs and agberos, Tinubu being the head of the judiciary, and Tinubu being the head of the security agencies. These are the 5 elements that you need to successfully carry out rigging in Nigeria. Now, if we put these 4 solutions into play, a 5-in-1 Tinubu cannot rig elections, because these solutions, they guarantee 100% election transparency. And that is a foundation for free and fair elections. Let's not get distracted. Tinubu knows he can't win a free and fair election. He knows. It doesn't look like he's planning to have free and fair elections. Just take a look at what he's doing with INEC. Take a look at what he's doing with the governors. Take a look at what he's doing in Nigeria. He knows his only option, if he wants to remain in power beyond 2027, now to rig. Now there is the issue of, coalition. I am happy that the coalition is taking shape. Finally, Peter Obi has come out to announce that he is for the coalition. In fact, he has even openly declared his willingness to do only 1 term so that power can return back to the North after 2031. He has declared that willingness. And he has also declared willingness to work with El-Rufai. And I believe that will be a game changer. That improves his chances a lot. But, and there is a big but, all of these coalition talks will only yield fruits if there is free and fair election in Nigeria. This is 2025, and we're talking about Tinubu, not 2015, and certainly not a Goodluck Jonathan. Goodluck Jonathan was free, gave INEC a free hand, and whatever happened in 2015 happened. In 2025, as we build up to 2027, do you really and honestly think that a Tinubu will give INEC free hand to conduct free and fair elections? Does it look like it? We already have an INEC that is under the thumb, the control of the the APC and Tinubu, an INEC that is now becoming clearly partisan. Do you think that even if we had electoral amendment, that this INEC or the INEC under the next appointee of a Tinubu will give us free and fair elections? Give us? No. Can we take it? Yes. We must force free and fair elections on INEC and on Tinubu in 2027. And there are 4 solutions to do just that. But we can only do it if we do it together. This is not the time to be acting individualistic. No. This is not the time to bother yourself. Oh, is it my solution? Even if you want to build your solution, we will support you. But make sure that it is along these 4 lines. We are de-weaponizing poverty. We are de-weaponizing impunity. We are de-weaponizing political parties. They have been weaponized. And we are de-weaponizing voter apathy. So, along these 4 lines, we must act to make sure the 2027 election is free and fair. So, what are the solutions? First and foremost, electoral reforms. Yes. But after we get electoral reforms, is that the end? The answer is no. We must take it a step further. In fact, 3 steps further. We must add parallel, electronic, real-time polling unit results transmission, collation, and display. Real-time. Parallel to whatever we can get INEC to do. Parallel. We have the application. It's Election Watch. But we need the people, polling unit marshals. How many polling units do we have in Nigeria? 189,000. Round that off to 200,000. Multiply it by 3. So we have at least 3 polling unit agents per polling unit. And each of these polling unit marshals will enter the results from the polling units. And immediately, election closes on election day. Immediately. I'm not talking about 1 hour later. No. Immediately, election closes, results are counted from the polling unit. We have the result for the whole Nigerians to see on our web portal. We have it. But we must work together to achieve this. We need you to volunteer to become a polling unit agent. This is not a partisan solution. It is not. This is not, oh, I am APC, I am PDP, I am ADC. No. This is a solution for all Nigerians. This is not a, oh, I am obedient, oh, I am Showore, I am, no. Any serious candidate, any serious Nigerian that is contesting against the APC in 2027, any serious Nigerian that wants a new Nigeria that works for everybody, must, as a matter of necessity, support this solution and volunteer as a polling unit marshal. The application is already developed. We're testing it. We need you to volunteer so that we can put these measures in place. Like I said, if we have these 4 solutions in place, Election Watch being just one of them, it won't matter that Tinubu is 5-in-1. He will lose. And if we don't have these solutions in place, it won't matter that Peter Obi, El-Rufai, Amechi form the biggest coalition. It won't matter because they will be rigged out. And then they will tell you, go to court. I don't want to cry after the election of February 2027, saying they rigged us out. No. We can prevent the rigging. I want to be the one with the solutions, with the evidence, and that brings us to the second solution. Calm guard. To capture admissible evidence that we can use to defend our victory in court. Admissible evidence that the judiciary cannot hide from, that INEC cannot hide from. These are solutions that we can do, but as individuals, it is impossible. But if we work together, easily achievable, but difficult. Now, we must now come together to make sure we achieve it. Tinubu knows that his only option to continue beyond 2027 is to rig. And he's not hiding it. So if anybody is serious about a Nigeria that works, coalition is not the answer. I say it. If we have free and fair election in Nigeria today, if it is guaranteed, Peter Obi does not need a coalition. He doesn't. He will win. Tinubu will lose. I've said it. If free and fair election is guaranteed in Nigeria and you bring a goat, you wear agbada on the coat to contest against Tinubu, he will lose. And that's why Tinubu is not planning to give you free and fair elections. The signs are there. But we can resist it and defeat whatever rigging arrangement they put in place. They are planning for rigging on election day. But do you know what? They are taking it beyond that. They are planning for rigging leading to election day. Do you know that there is a type of rigging that takes place before election day even comes? That is where you have weaponized poverty, weaponized impunity, weaponized political party. These are tools to rig election before the election even starts. And the whole aim of these weaponized political parties, weaponized impunity, weaponized poverty, the whole aim is voter apathy. Such that the only few viewers that come out, voters that come out to vote, they are buyable. So they are using these tools to prime Nigerians for voter apathy and for vote selling and vote buying. So we cannot just focus on only election day and say we have done the job. No, we've done the job for election day. Camp Guard and Election Watch, they take care of rigging on election day. But you see, Well Fund, Law Patrol, and Abundance Party, they take care of rigging leading up to the election day. And we must take both of them together to completely eradicate rigging in 2027. Well Fund is a tool to de-weaponize poverty in Nigeria. It is a scheme that helps Nigerians to fish, not simply give them fish. You've heard it. Give a person a fish, you feed him for the moment. The next moment he's hungry, there's nothing you can do because you don't have infinite resources. But teach him to fish, you have fed him for life. Now, if you take it further and you help him to fish, you have fed a whole country. That is exactly what Well Fund seeks to do. Financial support for feeding in exchange for participation in agricultural food production. Well Fund will not only empower Nigerians, put food on their table, it will reduce the cost of food and increase our hard currency earning from food because food will be surplus within a very short time with Well Fund. And when you have a people that are empowered, they won't sell their vote for 500 naira or 1,000 because they know from Well Fund They get way more than that. So Wealth Fund will help to de-weaponize poverty. Weaponized impunity will be handled by Law Patrol. Law Patrol will take care of weaponized impunity, leading up to the 2027 election. And then Abundance Party is the tool to de-weaponize political parties. Right now, political parties have been weaponized. Even if you look at the so-called coalition right now, it is the same recycled old politicians that are forming this coalition. Yes, I will be okay with it if somebody like a Peter Obi can emerge as a presidential candidate, but it only takes care of the presidency. What about those at the National Assembly, those in the state, those in the local government? The political parties as they currently exist in Nigeria have been weaponized against credible candidates. No credible candidate with integrity and capacity and character will participate in politics as it is practiced by political parties in Nigeria today. No credible candidate will do it. Only those who, and they are very few. In fact, very rare, like Peter Obi, very rare. How many of you Nigerians can take 100 million naira to go and buy form to become president of Nigeria? Well, now why even see the 100 million? How many Nigerians have 100 million naira today? And it's not only 100 million naira. 100 million is just for form. There's expression of interest too. Then you now talk about money to buy delegates. After money to buy delegates, you will have to settle some bills for the political parties. They go knock you bill. And after that, you have to now start thinking about how you are going to spend money on some people at INEC, spend money on some people in the security agency, spend money on some people to buy votes and all that. Before you know it, to become president, you are looking at 20 billion naira. Number one, how many Nigerians can afford that? And in any case, why would you think that somebody will spend 20 billion naira to become president and then the person will come and care about you? When his official legitimate salary is not up to even 100 million or 1 billion. He must steal. So the political parties as they currently exist have been weaponized against Nigerians. So we must de-weaponize political party, and a tool to do that is the Abundance Party of Nigeria. These are the tools. But the one that is very critical right now is the election day solution to stop rigging. And that's Election Watch, which needs you to volunteer to become a polling unit marshal. It's at no risk to you. I know many of you are afraid. Yes, you don't want a situation whereby you talk and then they come and remove the food from your table. I can understand that. But this does not put you at risk. You are not at risk of being shot. You are not at risk of losing your source of livelihood. No risk to you. But at the end of the day, you stand to benefit from a Nigeria that works, where you will be able to earn much more than you are earning today. So no risk. There is 100% anonymity when you volunteer as a polling unit marshal. 100% safe. But the impact of your action will be felt years to come, because it will birth a new Nigeria that works for all of us. Join us to accomplish this task. The links are in the description.